let me know in the chat box if you have joined us this morning. So this is our next to the last Friday freebie. Next Friday will be our last. I do want to let you know, though, that I am going to be teaching. Now, everything, of course, is subject to what happens in the fall. Hopefully we can contain any surges in our area. But I will be teaching two in-person classes. Right now, tentatively, the schedule hasn't come out yet, but it'll be Sunday morning at 10 and Wednesday afternoon at 5. And these classes will be in person, and they will be only for vaccinated people. Now, even with that, we may or may not still have to wear masks, but that all, of course, everything depends on what happens in our area with any potential fall surge in the coronavirus. So fingers crossed that the studio will be able to offer in-person classes, and also with the hopes that those of you who are vaccinated, hopefully all of you, would feel safe enough to come back to class, in-person class. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's go on to the mat. So go ahead and lie down on your back. Really tune your awareness into feeling your body lying on the floor, lying on the mat. Bringing your total attention, drawing your attention inward so that you're fully present with your body lying on the mat and being supported by the floor beneath you. So in that awareness, begin to just really consciously let go of any place that you might be holding tension. So just do a little mental body scan of your neck and shoulders, your back, your hips, your fingers. Make sure that everything is soft and relaxed and completely a complete feeling of safety and being supported by the floor. And then take your awareness to your breath and let's start by just feeling your body breathing. Not changing anything, but just feeling where the breath is in the body. Where do you feel it in your body as you inhale and exhale? So it's so important to really have a sense of presence when we do yoga. Now go ahead and take some deep, complete 3-part yogic breaths. So really feel the breath begin in the low belly as you inhale and continue moving up the torso until your inhalation ends at your upper chest near your collarbones. And then as you exhale, feel that exhalation moving down from your upper chest, back down to the middle of your torso, and all the way back down to your belly as your exhale ends. So take a couple more breaths like that, fully conscious of all 3 parts of the inhalation and all 3 parts of the exhalation. And then at the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Walk your feet back so your heels are as close to your buttocks as you can get them. So you want to have a sense that your knees are directly above your ankles. Turn your palms down, but bring them pretty close to your body. And make sure your feet are hip width apart and parallel. And then from here, we're just going to do some dynamic bridge poses. So as you inhale, you're going to press through your feet and lift your hips, buttocks, hips, and back off the floor in your inhalation. So inhaling, pressing all the way up, really using your feet and legs to press up. Exhale, you want to come all the way back down, slowly, one vertebra at a time, until your hips reach the floor again. Try to coordinate the breath with the movement. So as you press up on your inhalation, in the inhalation, or end the lift when your inhalation ends. As you exhale, end your exhalation at the same moment that your hips come back down to the floor. So a couple more times. Now we're going to add the arms to this movement. So as you press up, you're going to inhale, lifting your buttocks, hips back off the floor. And you're going to take your arms overhead on the inhalation. On your exhalation, you're going to come back down. So inhaling, pressing up through the feet and legs, taking the arms overhead to the floor behind you. Exhale, rolling back down, and your hands and hips reach the floor at the same time. At the end of your next exhalation, just come back to rest. Keep your left leg bent and take your right leg overhead. Take your arms out to the side. So inhale from here. Exhale, drop your leg all the way out to the side as low as it goes. Inhale back up. Exhale. Good. Next time you exhale all the way down, just start to swing your leg kind of back and forth like this. Just opening up those hips a little bit. You can use your breath here too, inhaling and exhaling. It doesn't really matter what direction you're going in. Good. And the next time you exhale, go ahead and bend your right leg with the right leg on the floor. Now I'm going to have to turn around in order to do the other side. I don't have enough room. So bending my right leg and put the foot on the floor. I'm going to take the left leg up in the air. Inhale from here. Exhale, drop it all the way out. Inhale up. Exhale down. And next time you exhale down, go ahead and just swing that leg back and forth. Straight leg back and forth. Good. And the next time you exhale, bring both legs back. I'm going to turn back around because I just happen to like my head better on this end. And then go ahead now and keep both knees bent. Take your arms out to the side. You're going to inhale from center. Exhale, drop your knees to the right as you turn your head to the left. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. So just back and forth. And the next time you inhale back up from the left, just come back up to center and either rock yourself up or roll over onto your side and come up to seated. Grab your blanket or your cushion to sit your hips up on, or your pillow, whatever you're using, and come into a cross-legged position, lengthening the spine up. Take a moment now and just feel your body sitting. Feel the support of your spine. Feel the pressure of your buttocks against the but really have a sense that the spine is nice and long. So no slumping over, no rounding at the low back. One way to help you to make sure that you sit as high up as you can is to just lift one hip, pull the flesh away from your sit bones. Do the same thing on the other side so that your sit bones is what you can feel supporting you. Just notice how nice and straight your back is without a lot of effort. Take your arms out to the side. We're going to do a little dynamic twist. So you're going to inhale. Exhale as you take your left arm to the right. Take a little bit of a twist. You're going in the opposite direction of me because I'm not mirroring you. Inhale back up. Right hand to the left knee. Take a twist. So just back and forth. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist. Nice deep breaths. Good. The next time you come back from the left, come back to center. Arms are back out again. Inhale from here. Exhale, take your left arm and hand to the floor. Right arm goes overhead and you're turning to look up. Inhale back up. Exhale. Other side. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you stretch over. And the next time you come up from stretching the left arm, that is the left arm overhead, then come on back to center. Good, okay. Let's come to all fours. So as you come to all fours, walk your knees back. So you're going to stay up on your knees. So you're not coming into child's pose. In other words, your buttocks are not moving back to your heels. You're staying as high up on your knees as you can. Stretch your arms out in front. And then bring your forehead to the floor. So you should feel a stretch in the upper back of the shoulders, upper back, and breathe. Now for your next exhalation, let's come on back to table. So hands and arms are shoulder width apart, shoulders directly over the wrists, knees and feet are hip width apart, and the knees are directly under the hips. Widespread fingers, pressing into the fingertips, the knuckles, the palms of the hands, the heel of the hands, isometrically pressing your hands towards the center of the mat as you curl your toes under for downward facing dog. On your inhalation, lifting the knees, lengthening the spine, and then let's bicycle back and forth. So coming high on the toes of one foot as you press the opposite heel towards the floor. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lower both of your heels towards the floor. Remember, they don't have to touch the floor. That's a function of your hamstring and calves, whether your heels touch the floor or not. So if they don't, just do the best you can. It's okay to keep the knees a little bit bent to keep your back nice and long. Relax the back of the neck. So make sure you're not holding your head up like this. Really let the neck go and breathe. And then as you look up between your hands, you can put your left knee down if you want to, or you can stay in a high lunge as you bring your right foot forward. So you can be here or you can be here, whichever one works for you. Okay, so if you're here, you're just in a high lunge. Come all the way out to your fingertips if you need to. Lengthen the spine, so try not to round the shoulders, so don't do this. Lengthen out, squeeze the shoulder blades back, and breathe. Do the same thing even if your left knee is on the floor. Now, if your knee is on the floor, you can keep the knee on the floor. If your knee is lifted and you want to put your knee on the floor for the next part of this, you can. I'm just going to bring my hands up to my right knee. So again, you can, if you want, you can just put that left knee back down. Relax the shoulders down, breathing. Whether your knee is up or down, bring your hands overhead. Arms overhead. Still breathing. Next exhalation, bring your hands back down to the floor and your knee, if your knee is lifted. And let's come back to table. So same positions as we go back into downward facing dog. Breathing. Looking up between your hands, you can either put your right knee down on the floor or keep your right knee lifted as you bring the left leg forward into a high lunge or a low lunge. Either one is fine. Breathing. Now here you can put your right knee down on the floor before the next part, or you can keep it lifted, but you're going to bring your hands to your left knee, whether your right knee is lifted or back on the floor. Relax the shoulders. Still nice deep breaths. And then you can take your arms overhead. At the end of your next exhalation, bring your hands back down to the floor. And you can lift your right knee if it's on the floor, or if it's not, just walk that right leg forward into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Clasp both of your elbows and just kind of let your torso feel a little free float here. Nice deep breaths. And then after your next exhalation, squeeze your shoulder blades back with your hands at your waist. And inhale with a flat back and come on up to standing. So standing near the front of your mat, right in the middle, let's step the right foot out to the right edge of the mat. Hands on your waist. Now notice that both hips are horizontal, and then walk your left foot straight back. Notice whether your hips are still horizontal. If not, just use your left hand to press your left hip forward a little bit so the right and left hips are parallel. Keeping the hands still at the waist, bend the right knee. If the left side of your waist tends to move backwards a little bit, just press it gently to keep it horizontal. Release the arms. Take the arms overhead, either palms facing forward or palms clasped, or fingers clasped, sorry, and palms clasped. Breathing. Keep the back leg straight. So if you feel your back knee collapsing and bending, press into the back heel to straighten the leg. Nice deep breaths, feeling yourself literally lengthening as you inhale and grounding as you exhale. At the end of your next exhalation, inhale, straighten your legs, release your arms. Take your arms out to the side. So we're going to do revolve triangle here. So as you inhale, press your back heel into the floor. Exhale, take your left arm down to the outside of your right leg. Anywhere on your leg, up to your knee is fine, so wherever is comfortable. Take that right arm straight up and then turn to look up at it if you can. If you feel unbalanced trying to look up, just keep looking down at your right foot. And it's okay if your hand is, all the way up onto your right knee. At the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and bring your arm down. Inhale as you come back up and walk your back foot up. Let's change sides. So take the left foot. Well, first of all, staying at the middle of your mat, hands on your waist. Take the left foot to the edge of the mat. With your hands on your waist, move the right foot back. But if you look, you'll see how my right hip just kind of naturally went back. I'm going to take my right hand and push it so that my torso is still facing forward in Tadasana. Pressing into the back heel to keep the back leg straight. Bend your left knee and bring your arms overhead. Either palms just facing each other if your shoulders are really tight, or your thumbs and forefingers pressed together and the rest of your fingers clasped. Breathing. At the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and straighten your front leg, release your arms. Let's take the arms out to the side. Now here it's really important for this right hip to still be level with the left hip. Okay? Inhale, exhale, right hand now goes down to the outside of the left leg, wherever is comfortable. Left arm goes up, and you're going to turn to look up at the left arm. Now my left side, this is the eye that I'm blind in, so this is harder for me because I really can't see. And so turning to look up makes me really have to focus on staying balanced. At the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and lower your left arm. Inhale to come up, come back up to standing. Good. Let's clasp the hands behind the back again. Inhale. Actually, let's do something a little bit different. Let's clasp the elbows. No, sorry, everybody. Clasp the hands. That's what I meant to say. Clasp the hands. Good. And then inhale and exhale and fold forward. So stretching the shoulders out above your back. And breathing, relax the back of the neck. Finish your next exhalation and then inhale to come back up. Come on down onto your belly. Take your feet out to the edges of the bottom of your mat and place your index fingers on the two top edges of your mat. So your thumbs are facing forward, your thumbs and index fingers are on the mat, but your third, fourth, and fifth finger are stretched out to the side, so they will not be on the mat. So don't try to bring your arms in so close that all your fingers are on the mat. The third, fourth, and fifth finger are actually on the floor or the carpet. Okay? Roll around a little bit on your pubic bone. Make sure you're not tightening your buttocks. And then when you're ready, just lift your forearms to come into a back bend. If this back bend feels too much for your low back, don't put your forearms back down. Just slide your hands forward until you come down to wherever is comfortable. Relax your shoulders. If you can take more of a back bend, keep that same hand position, but walk your hands back. The pubic bone is still on the floor, buttocks are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, breathing. Good, and after your next exhalation, push yourself back into child's pose. And then coming up, let's come back onto your back. Arms at your sides with your palms facing up. Of course, you can also bend your knees and put your feet on the floor if you want. That's perfectly fine. You get a back bend, so sometimes it's a little more comfortable on the back if you bend your knees, but either way, just allow your body to just resettle Just kind of feeling again your body lying here. I say this often, but it doesn't really matter how short my yoga practice is. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I always take at least a minute to just settle back in Shavasana or final relaxation pose. Just to reconnect. And then when you finish your next exhalation, you can bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and either roll over onto your side or rock yourself back up. Thank you for practicing with me today. That was my practice, since I had not done my practice like I normally do prior to teaching this class. So thanks for joining me. And I hope I see you all next week for the final Friday freebie. Let's bring the hands together at your heart. Take a deep breath. Namaste. And if you could hear any of that thumping and bumping, there's some work being done in the unit above mine. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Anyway, thanks again. See you next week. Bye.